right, chat. It says Joe Rogan. Let me turn this down. Joe Rogan on the dangers of OnlyFans. Chat, we discussed this a lot on my channel. But let's see Joe Rogan opinion on this.
Part of the problem is it becomes a business. You know, because a lot of these women, they will then start. Do you know what an OnlyFans is? Yeah. So they'll then start an OnlyFans, and so men will subscribe to get small messages from them, or to get individualized photos or videos from them, and these women make an extraordinary amount of money.
Yeah,
and it's
certain ones, chat. Just like the strip clubs is when it come to adult film, only the top of the top is really making an extraordinary amount of money. I think they said the average girl on OnlyFans make like $400 a month. But because they know women are like followers, a lot of women like to idolize other women. If they see one bringing in a truckload of money on OnlyFans or in a strip club, she gonna think if she can do it, I can do it. If she making all this money, let me go dive in, not knowing the reality of it. And the reality of it, you're gonna make more money working at McDonald's than you is doing OnlyFans.
Really quite shocking. So they're making way more than they've ever made in their life doing this, but yet they're in a committed relationship with a man. And so the man has to deal with the fact that not only is his woman out there, like on display.
He talking about Adam 22.
But she's signaling that she's desiring better mates.
Yeah. Well, and I think your point about some developmental issue is relevant. We do have empirical data
on who is this guy?
Attachment styles. So basically, there are these, they call them 3 different attachment styles, which is an oversimplification, but securely attached. So, do you tend to trust other people? You feel confident in a stable relationship. There's anxious attached, which is you're always worried your partner is going to leave you or cheat on you, or maybe you have a history of partners leaving you or cheating on you. And then there's what's called ambivalent attachment style, where there are people, both men and women, who they don't really want an intimate romantic relationship. They kind of avoid, if someone gets too close, they kind of push them away. And in studies of infidelity, the securely attached have the lowest rates of infidelity, and my guess probably the lowest rates of these Instagram posts or OnlyFans vocations. Whereas, and then the second is the anxious attached, but the most is in terms of infidelity rate is the avoidant attachment style. And so women with that avoidant attachment style are also likely to be high on narcissism and probably engage in that behavior. And also,
could you please explain avoidant?
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, this nigga using a whole lot of complex terminology. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, so these are people who don't like close, intimate relationships. And so they avoid them and try to be, if it gets too close, they push them away. They want to maintain their independence. And so even if they're married...
You know what? I think I encountered a girl like this. I'm going to be honest with you, chat. This girl I met back in college, she had told me that it was kind of odd because she told me that she had never been in a relationship. And chat, this girl, don't get me wrong, this girl was drop dead gorgeous, and it just kind of was a little odd that she had never been in a relationship. And I asked her about, like, was she a V? And she said, no, she's not. Like, she's been with multiple guys, but she's never been in a relationship. And so, we got to know each other, this, that, and the third. And a relationship between, like, me and her it was never on the table, and it wasn't really because of me. I didn't mind being with the girl. I mean, she was a cool individual, but relationships was just not her style. It was just not hers. It was just something she didn't want. I didn't know why, but she liked me though. Don't get me wrong. She wasn't. I'm not gonna tell all our business, but she was definitely attracted to me. That wasn't the question. She just didn't want a relationship. I couldn't explain it, and I was young at the time, and the shit was just odd to me.
Married, there's this distance. There's always this pushing away of the other person and of intimacy, psychological intimacy
I think that's what
with
he's
that
talking
other person. And so these are, women who are more likely to engage in short-term mating and more likely to have affairs if they're in a long-term mateship.
Now, has there been studies done on those type of people? Is that because those women have experienced abusive relationships in the past and they're worried about being committed to someone because that person then starts to put restrictions on them and gets very jealous and very mean to them?
It's a good question, and we don't know. So there's some speculation. So the dominant thinking, which I don't necessarily subscribe to, is that it really stems from the mother-infant attachment bond. So if you have like a mother or other parental figure who wasn't there for you, who was erratic and so you couldn't rely on them, then
Chad, her dad was in the Navy. And he was like one of them high-ranking officers too in the Navy, and they moved a lot, but he was always away. Damn. Hey, Chad, you learn something every fucking day. That is crazy, and it's crazy how bro. Chad, I'm dead ass. Like when I'm hearing him describe this avoidance type of female, this girl was the number one person that came to my mind. I thought about her instantly, and that shit is wild. How the shit just came back full circle.
Then the notion is that the infant learners, they can't rely on other people, so they better do stuff by themselves or on their own.
That makes sense.
And the idea is that attachment style, which some claim gets fixed in infancy, then carries over into adulthood when you form romantic relations, and so the anxious or secure or ambivalent attachment style in infancy gets transported into adult. That's the theory anyway.
Well, that completely makes sense. If your parents were never around, or they weren't reliable, or they were shitty to you, yeah.
The reason I just want to add a note of an asterisk by that is that there is a correlation. They do find a correlation between the infant attachment style and the later adult attachment style, but parents are also contributing genes as well as environment. And so it might be that the parents who themselves are kind of inconsistent, not there for the kids or whatever, and are off maybe having affairs on their own or whatever, transmit genes to their children that dispose them toward those styles, as well as an environment. And so studies haven't been done to try to...
And that's the scary part, Chad. As much as you think, like, you know what I'm saying, you're going to instill all these specific ingredients into your child, genetics is a motherfucker. And I don't think a lot of people really understand that your all the bad traits that you yourself have, your kid can end up with them as well. And not only that, they can be way more intense than yours. Way more intense than yours. I tell my homeboys all the time, like, you just can't be out here moving reckless and doing like dumb shit, because one day you're gonna have children and you're gonna have to father all the bad habits that you have adopted, and they could be worse in your kids. But maybe I'm just chatting. Maybe I don't know what I'm really talking about. Y'all let me know in the comment section.
Got a house on the hill, I don't back out. Ain't showing no love, no, not in this season. I'm waiting to bring all my racks out. Now who keeping all of my niggas? Been waiting to shoot up the burner. Caught in my feels, I need some more soda. She loving the pill, her body get warmer. Gotta let her ride on top.